Hey there. Okay, this is Key again, and I'm gonna do something a little different today. I'm going to do a sketchbook dirty laundry airing for the next couple of days, and I hope this might be a little bit helpful for you guys, who are keeping sketchbooks. Number one, keeping a sketchbook is extremely important. You guys, I cannot stress how important it is that you draw all the time. You keep a sketchbook handy. I was out with some friends, and someone asked like to look at my sketchbook, and I don't know if this person was particularly was an artist or not, but they were interested in looking at sketchbooks, and as some of you might know already, if you have a sketchbook, and people who don't draw, even people who do draw actually, they want to look at your sketchbook. They want to see what you're about. They want to see what makes you tick, what you're trying to express, or they want to see how someone is able to yeah, how someone is able to actually get their ideas out of their head, like onto the paper. There's a very high possibility, there are going to be drawings in that sketchbook that you're not so proud of. So it is kind of, it is kind of like showing like like your dirty underwear to folks. And some people also, they get a little intimidated too, because there are really great artists out there. For example, like Steve Houston, or Glenn Villepeu, for that matter. Like, you look at their sketchbooks, and they're beautiful. These beautiful sketchbooks that actually, like, just as they stand by themselves, um, are works of art. Meaning that, don't get in your own way in terms of your ego and stuff like that, and thinking like everything has to be perfect, stuff like that. Yes, you should take your work seriously, and you should definitely do your best. When you're drawing, you should really put your mind into what you're doing, but don't get in your way, and one yeah, say, oh, I'm no good, or I don't have any talent, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's one thing like to be honest about like what you need to improve on. It's another thing like to really start yeah, breaking down like your self-worth, or murdering, murdering the potential that's within you, before it has a chance to grow. Okay. So my advice, my overall advice is really to really have a, almost like, yeah, a really like I don't care attitude about it. And actually, sometimes, when you keep like a positive mind towards your drawings, and if you make and you give yourself the permission like to make bad drawings, you might find yourself actually making better drawings, believe it or not. Okay. I use only like one or two sketchbooks. This is the one that I use the most, which is a an Orion Croquis sketchpad. It's smooth. It's smooth paper. The size that I usually use is an A4. So it's about the size of, like, let's say, like an iPad Pro, and it's big enough so that I can, carry it in my side bag. This larger one, I use sometimes like for demos, for like online demos, because obviously, there's a lot more space on here, and yeah, it gives me a little bit more freedom in terms of like moving from one side of the page like to the other side of the page. So is this Moleskine hardcover book. I was kind of inspired to start using this one because my friend and teacher Glenn Villepeu uses this sketchbook, even though he's changed recently. But I like this one because it's a heavyweight paper, has a nice has a nice smooth finish to it, and actually I think it takes very very well with wet media. So either I use the Croquis, I use the Croquis, um, Orion Sketchbook, or I use like one of the Moleskines. I use one of those two. Okay, all right. So I'll jump into it. Okay, so here, I have like just like a bunch of anatomy studies here, and some figure studies here. Um, the media that I'm working with here is just regular pencil, I think. The pencils that I use. Sometimes, I just use just a regular number 2 pencil, or sometimes, if I want a certain kind of feel, I might work like with a Blackwing pencil, which is actually is nice here. Um, Now, yeah, if you go through my sketchbook, like you're probably gonna see like a lot of sketches of torsos and backsides and things like that. And part of the reason like why we might see a lot of like torsos, even actually in even other artist sketchbooks. The torso is a great place, or is a great center point of the body, like to study, because you could develop your understanding and sense of like weight, in terms of like which way like the figure is sorry, which direction the figure is placing its weight, or like where its weight is coming from, where is it twisting in space. Okay. um there's some random sketches of some animals here. Figure here. Um, I guess it's kind of natural, like to see a lot of women in sketchbooks. More anatomy studies. This is anatomy study of the forearm here. Um, so there's a so yeah, so this drawing of Black Panther that I had here. Um, I wasn't particularly trying to do anything impressive or anything like that, but I was trying to understand um, the composition that Jack Kirby uses in his compositions. So this was really more so of an exercise to understand. And that's something that I recommend for you guys as well. It's like, when you're drawing, like maybe you should be drawing with the intention of trying to understand. I mean, some people, yeah, they want to use their sketchbooks like to make these beautiful drawings, and every now and then, like you will make a really nice drawing. But this is the really, the place where you want to give yourself the ability to understand like why certain decisions are being made. Now I base this off of this is sort of out of my imagination, but the composition I took from Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby, when he composes things, the reason why, for you guys who haven't like figured it out yet, because it took me a long time to figure it out, like why like Jack Kirby was was so revered within the comic book business, because he always had this manner of composing things that exploded towards you, and also it always had a sense of movement. His anatomy was never particularly that good. Sometimes I think he was making stuff up as he went along, but it worked because it had this great sense of like of dynamism, of being dynamic, and he always like pushed things like to the far corners, you know. So for you guys who are still like figuring this out, you know where you want to go, when you compose things, you want to exploit like things in like these corners here. like that. You want to avoid like things like being like perpendicular and stuff like that. That things that like go to the corners create movement. Things that are like up and like things that are horizontal and vertical slow things down. Okay, that's the basic rule. So yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll come back to that. But that's what this was all about. Okay. Here's some terrible drawings that I did of some women and some guys. I don't know. I think I was trying to work out some rhythms in women here. Um, oh, these drawings I think were done for the LiveUp tutorials that I do here in Japan, and one of the things that I do quite often is work with them in terms of like how to do the how to do like the rice bag, as a or the flour sack. I'm sorry, um, as kind of like a tool for laying down the torso. Also, I also did some exercises here, like to show people like how to get emotion. And also this is a very good exercise I recommend for you guys to do. Like picking an emotion or an adjective, and then like drawing a doing like a quick sketch that's showing that emotion, like sad here, or happy, or scared, or shy, or something like that. Okay. So I think this was one that I did on eyes here. Some hand studies as well. Okay. What else is we got in here? Yeah, these are not these are not my best drawings at all. Actually, I really, to be honest, I don't really like these drawings because one of the things I don't like doing, and I don't recommend people doing, is to um, talk and draw at the same time, because when you do that, every single time something's going to suffer. Either what you're going to say is going to suffer, or your drawing's going to suffer. You cannot do both equally well. It's just not going to happen. So get it out of your head. Whenever you see guys, like you see people, who they're doing like demonstration videos, whatever, someone from the comic books industry, or someone in animation, and they're they're drawing some character, and they're they're having having the time of their life, it's a party on the page, and they put out this work of art, and it's all like done on camera. you know Take in mind, one, that the artists, they've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. So sometimes, they're doing it without even thinking. It's almost like they're on automatic. Number two, there's it's all this is done through a kind of a filter. So don't never you know never take it so literal. You don't have to be up to their standards. Okay. So anyway, uh, yes, okay. So a lot of anatomy studies in here. Yeah, there's a woman here. Um, Here is a study that I like to do for the deltoid. Like this would be like the humerus bone. Here's like the clavicle, right? There's the scapula coming from behind. But I always like this nice kind of balloon kind of shape, or like hot air balloon kind of shape you have like for the deltoid. It's always nice, and of course, this part, the deltoid, connects to the clavicle, so you get this kind of shape. And then here, like there's a space here that doesn't connect to any particular muscle, but from here, the um, the pectoralis muscle actually comes in from here, like that. actually. So actually, this relationship I like a lot. So um, okay. Ugh, more bad drawings. Some caricatures here. Working some stuff out with the hands. Um, yeah. Why is this? There's a random. Because I think I was talking about Beauty and the Beast with somebody, and the character Mrs. Potts. I never drew the character. But I think I was just trying to say like how, how these characters they're designed, to be um, to not be so difficult to draw. They're designed in such a way, so that they can be replicated easily. So anyway, that's that. Yeah, some random sketches here. I think these were some drawings that I was doing like to warm up for a demo. I think I did online in terms of like drawing the female figure. Okay. Yeah, this one I like. This drawing I like. This one I like. Um, why do I like it? Um, I like it because it was successful in terms of like the weight and the rhythm that I got in the body, expression in the face. Yeah, this one was good. These are some people that I was drawing when I was in the subway. Actually, these are some subway drawings that I did. More women, more beautiful women. So this is my rip off of some Frank Frazetta drawing that I did, and why did I do it? Because I wanted to understand Frank's process. I'm not trying exactly to do a reproduction of a Frank Frazetta, but I'm trying to understand like why did he compose this drawing this way? What did he do to get that feeling of like of power and that feeling of awe that I get every time I look at his work. So what I'm saying is, this is a good example of like giving yourself like permission like to make bad drawings. So it's okay, to try to ape your art heroes and fall short, because by falling short you're getting understanding in terms of like, well, like what's missing, and you're understanding process. Okay. Again, you don't want to copy. If I wanted to, if I really wanted to, I can do an exact copy of a Frank Frazetta pen sketch. I can do it. But to really understand from the inside out why he did certain things, that's a completely different thing. When you just try to make a copy, you're just doing a graphic copy. You just basically you're just measuring things out, and you're just putting like graphic marks there just to match up with what's exactly there. It's a completely different thing when you try to draw from the inside out in terms of like what the gesture is, what the volumes are, where the weight is, and all that kind of stuff. That's a completely different thing. Okay. It's another Frank Frazetta that I did. This was maybe from one of his comic books, but I like the composition that was here in this I think it's maybe, I think it was the White Indian. But basically, you have this straight, and like this is falling down. Like obviously, they're like on some hill or something like that. These two Indians, and so you have this straight here, and then it's falling down. This guy, he's looking down. Then you have like this tree, like this. That's also so you have like this sweeping kind of rhythm here, and that's what I wanted to understand. I didn't want to just copy it. I wanted to understand Frank's process. Um, this is maybe this is not particularly from any uh, John Buscema drawing per se, but I was trying to understand like again, what was informing him in terms of how he how he designed the Conan character, because yeah, I mean, all the basic points here in terms of like, the tree trunk, thighs here, and the big arms, and the proportions are all there. But I was trying to really understand, like, what makes it look powerful, what makes it look interesting, and also have this sense of grace to it. Also, that's another thing. John Buscema's drawings never look stiff. And actually, I read a an article, or at least an interview with him not too long ago, and I think I figured out one of the things that he did that made his drawings look so loose. So maybe another time I'll share that with you guys. More women, more naked women. Okay, another Conan. A couple of Conans here. This is maybe not so easy to see, but this was a composition by John Buscema, that I really really liked. Now again, this might not look at it like anything, but this was a I was trying to copy the composition, not the drawing itself. But there was a squid that was like fighting with Conan, like underwater, and I just feel like, because like there was the sweep of, like, I think like one of the tentacles down here, and then like there was like the sweep of like Conan's axe here, and then it was really good. And also then the sweep kind of continued here, and then you had like the I guess the ripples, or like the vibrations under the water, that was continuing that sweep, and it was going out like that. And the cool thing is, like, yeah, he had cut one of the tentacles here. That's also, like, I guess, yeah, Conan would, I guess, would be in here, like this. His arm is here, leg is here, and I guess, yeah, I guess he made a cut like that, going this way. And then, like, yeah, so he cut one of the tentacles, and then like the blood was going straight up like that. And I was like, yo, that is awesome. That's a really awesome thing. And that's one of the things, you guys, who are like learning how to draw, or how to compose things. Um, you know, it's one thing, like, it's kind of easy, like, to get enamored or hypnotized, like, by the anatomy and stuff like that, or like, like the like how, yeah, how the gesture is done, all this kind of stuff. But the real stuff is really, it's in the composition, and how, you have like these abstract forms, and these abstract forces and rhythms. That's what makes, like, the composition. Okay, let me keep going. More naked women. Okay. I think this one, I was trying to compare a basic, like, a normal woman, to, like, saying, like, an idealized woman. I guess it depends on your idea of what ideal is. More flour sack here. More naked women. Okay, that's fine. Um, I haven't. All this is just my own stuff now so far. I haven't. We haven't come across any women from my life drawing classes yet. I think maybe as we keep going, we're gonna run into some. This was, yeah. These were some examples from how to draw the female figure in another video. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I think it's just random female. It's just some watercolor here. Okay. Yeah, some hand drawings here, anatomy drawings. Oh, okay. All right. There's a little bit of a story with this one. Okay. So, for some people who know me, in addition to being a drawing instructor, I'm also a martial arts instructor. I'm a practitioner of a kind of Chinese Kung Fu called Wing Chun Kung Fu, and this is a drawing of Grandmaster William Chung when he was much younger. And I was trying to uh, draw something that was related to my art, or to the or to our art of Wing Chun. But the thing is, like, when you draw reality, actually, particularly, if it's something that you it's a discipline that you are aware of. Like, let's say, like, if you're, I don't know, if you play baseball or something like that, and you know how to play baseball, or if you're a runner. Sometimes you can't draw things so literally. Sometimes that you have to. Sometimes, like, you have to, like, push and exaggerate things. Now, this photograph of Grandmaster William Chung, actually by itself, actually it's quite heroic looking and quite dramatic looking. But when you draw it literally, it loses a lot of the life. So I was thinking about, like, oh, how to push that. So you know actually, I changed the drawing here, as you can see. Like, here, his torso is a little bit, it's kind of like head on right there. But here I twisted it, because he's doing a technique called BOG, which is thrusting fingers. Now, in truth, we might not actually pose this way. It's not exactly done like that, but this has the drama that I wanted. So what I'm saying is, like, when you're drawing, when you're drawing models, or you're drawing from a photograph, it never really doesn't serve you, like, just to draw exactly what's there. You want to try to, like, um, exaggerate what's truthful about it. You don't have to exaggerate to a point where it's like it's distortion. It's the same spirit, basically, right? But this one I just made it a little bit more dramatic. Okay, more anatomy studies, hand studies. Oh, okay. So finally, okay. So we've reached one of my life drawing models. This is Tef. Tef is a very well-known model here in Tokyo. She has a very beautiful classic buxom shape. It's a little bit rare to see here in Tokyo, but I really like her because she has a very wonderful shape. So this was from the life drawing class I did with Tef not too long ago. Okay. This drawing, I'm not quite so happy with this one, because uh, it's not quite honest, and it doesn't really come from the heart. Tef is a little bit full around this area, but it's not quite so perfect like that. There's sometimes you try to perfect things. You take away some of the beauty of it. So this one I kind of like of Tef. This one I enjoyed. This one was really nice. This one's a little more stylized, but this one is good. This is another one with Tef. This is a color one that I really liked. It's watercolor. And I think I did some others in another sketchbook. Sometimes I'll draw in two different sketchbooks, at the same time, just maybe because I wanted, because I have a certain kind of paper for this one. I work paper on the other one. Okay. Some torso studies. Oh, there's another composition study. Okay, in terms of, like, this rhythm here. This person is, like, looking up, but then, like, you have the straight of the body is just bringing it back down. That's something I really like here. I like that one. So this one I liked. I forgot what that's from. I really forgot what that's from. This is the same person, just didn't come out so well. Not too happy with that one. Some head studies. Head studies. Rare study, yeah. All this is just rough stuff, all this is just rough stuff. Okay, all right. So that's there's some stuff here on the back page here, and also sometimes I will write notes in my sketchbook, because, again, I want to remember certain things. So, all right. So that's sketchbook number 1. Okay, and that's all my that's my dirty laundry. Okay, you've seen the drawings that I am okay with. The majority of the drawings in this book, I am not happy with them because I when I look at them, I can see immediately like what I need to do to make them better, and that's the whole point. You know, when you do your drawings, you know, come back to them later, and you'll find sometimes like the things that you didn't do so well are, you know, they're screaming at you, meaning that, you know, you can recognize what's wrong with it. So that's giving you the opportunity to improve it, to fix it. You know, it's not just like you just draw it one time and that's it. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here. Okay, and I'll be back with another video. I have maybe 3 or 4 more sketchbooks to go through. So I hope this is helpful and interesting, and I hope this is taking away some of the mystique about having like a perfect sketchbook. Okay, again, your sketchbook is your place where you're giving yourself the chance to work things out. You know, this is, you know, this is the holy place, you know, where you have permission to confess all your, you know, your poor draftsmanship skills, and, you know, and then atone for them. That's where you do it. You do it in your sketchbook. Okay, guys, hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay, all right, bye bye.